Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Sam. We are so excited to have you here today. It's a very educational episode today, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, we are going to go all into bulking and cutting because, not to call you guys out here right on the spot, but, some of y'all still don't fucking get it. And I promise it's so easy, okay? This is how to lose weight or how to gain weight, 101, how to lose weight for dummies.
Simplified.
I swear to God, follow this like the Bible and it will work. You will lose weight or you will gain weight. It is so simple and we got you covered with it. Don't even worry. And just some things. We had a great weekend that we're going to recap. And we're going to have to go through it really slow because it was very chaotic. So
it was very chaotic.
We're going to have to really make sure we really piece it together.
Narrow it down.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to let you guys know that we got merch available for sale. In case you didn't know, we have these really cute Future MILF hats and some t-shirts, and they're just available. You guys can snag them if you want them and follow us on Instagram.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just kind of start with Thursday because it was really a quick night. We have been so social, and honestly, I'm not catching up on my sleep. I'm so tired, still, and it's Tuesday. It's 5 days later. But Thursday we went out to be social and just went to a casual bar, sat with our friends. We did not drink, but we were out. We were out on the later side compared to usual during the middle of the week.
We're in bed by 8 p.m. So
yes.
Being out, leaving the house at 8 p.m. to go somewhere is crazy.
Yeah, I during the week am like Taylor said 8 p.m. I'm getting out of my bed around 8. I'm laying horizontal for a very long time in my bed.
We are horizontal girls.
Yeah.
We love to be horizontal.
So we didn't do much. And then Friday was our first night out. And we obviously had such a good time. It was with our guy friends. We first originally started with just us because we have been slacking on getting dinner reservations. And very last minute, I would say around 3 p.m. is when we booked the dinner reservation. Mm-hmm. And we were you know what? Fuck it. Me and you, Taylor, let's go get some dinner. The boys probably won't even like this place because our guy friends are so picky.
They're just, they're boys. They want big meal of steak.
You know what I mean? Greasy beef tacos.
Yeah,
I want I don't know, a cool bowl.
I'm salad and a margarita, please.
Yeah,
give me something cute and fun.
Literally. So we went to this place called Two Hands and we got drinks. And then by the time dinner was over, it was literally only 8 p.m. And we're what do we do with our lives?
Yeah. And we also wanted to go for you guys. You know why? Because content. Yeah. We have been cranking out the TikTok content and stuff. And this sounds so dumb, but you need cute shots of you doing things to put in these videos. So we were we need to go out and film ourselves.
Yeah.
A video drinking, a little cheers, took a video of a disco ball. It was basically a work meeting.
No, 100%. Friday night was a work outing.
I had
my phone out for everything.
Filming our ass off. It was everything you do that's funny, cute, hot. Bitch, better record it.
And I'm so happy, not even for work though. I'm happy I have all these videos for memories because we'll get into it, but I got plastered and my friends were recording me so bad. But anyways, so we ended up just going back to get the boys and then, no, we didn't go back to get the boys.
No, we had them meet us at Margaritas because the thing is these boys are wrapped around our finger. And they don't like to admit it, but they are wholeheartedly. So we're here getting margs and they're we don't want to go there. We're okay.
Okay.
Sucks for you. And then, oh, look who shows up.
Yeah, they're wait, are you still there? We're yeah.
Yeah, of course you're going to come. What else are you going to do? Be for real.
And Tequila Muchos is all pink and everything. And they're we don't want to go there. And we're okay, fine. We don't care. We're vibing out at the bar right now. Just ourselves.
You. Yeah, because girls, let me tell you, which is what we're going to get into on Saturday. But going out with just your one or two girlfriends, me and Sam can have a time by ourselves.
100%. You don't need a big group of people to have fun. Let's make it very clear right now. When we go out, it is not usually a big group of us. There's probably 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah, we have our little group of friends, but if you think, and we have people we know, acquaintances. But like we're not going out with like 20 of our best friends. Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. It ain't like that.
Don't get it twisted.
But so we ended up leaving Tequila Muchos and like going on to West 6, and it's like still on the earlier side, and like I love Buford's, and we're walking past Buford's. I'm like, guys, like please let's go into Buford's. I want to go so bad. And the boys are like, no, I hate it there. Like it sucks there. And I'm like, no, please, like I want to go in. And they're like, okay, fine. And I'm so happy we went because we had such a good time. We were meeting so many people.
It was fun,
like,
and the dance floor was packed.
Playing games. Like, we were having so much fun.
It all depends on, like, to me, all those bars are the same. It all depends on, like,
the vibe.
The vibe of the people. Like, sometimes I'm like,
there's no one here.
oh, this bar's my favorite. I walk in empty. Okay, well, it's not going to be my favorite that night.
Yeah.
Like, so you got to just go where there's the people. And Friday, the people were on the dance floor at Buford's. Like, it was packed.
Since it was so early on. Oh, guys, also forgot to mention, we had our flasks with us.
Yeah, people are saying that we're going to get banned from the bars.
I don't care. I mean, if we get banned from there, like, whatever.
But who's checking?
I'll go somewhere else. But, anyways, so we ended up just like kind of laying low at the very beginning of the night because there wasn't that many people there yet. So we decided to play basketball, and we're playing basketball, like the four of us. And then these true Australian guys come over, and then like we're vibing it up with them, and like the boys are broing it up with the boys, and we're like, all right, whatever. So then Taylor and I kind of do like our own thing for a little bit. And then I had this one guy that I was talking to, and I'm like messaging him, and I'm like, hey, like come out to the bar that we're at. Like, where are you? And it took him like a while. What time do you think he showed up?
I have no idea.
Because you got
12?
Yep.
11 something?
Yeah, it was definitely like 11 because then we were all hanging and then Michael showed up and then you guys left at midnight.
Okay, I'm going to go like 11.
Yeah. So, and then it was funny how it worked out. So my new manager, which I don't know if you watched my YouTube videos, anyone watching, I like announced in my YouTube video last week that I signed on with a new manager, and it's like a mix of everything. So it's like modeling, also like ads on social media and all that. So like I'm really excited about it. But anyways, the guy I was like texting shows up with my manager. I guess he also signed on with my manager, and I was like, what the fuck? Like this is such a small world. So I'm out with my manager that night as well, and it was just I had such a good time.
Yeah, I was pacing myself that night. I really took it easy. If you listened to last week's episode, I did everything I said I would. I was so good.
She did a really good job.
I was never really drunk. Like I was like comfortable tipsy the whole weekend, which was just like amazing, like literally amazing. Talking to Shelby on that episode really helped. So just plug.
Yeah, we love Shelby.
Go listen. Like she literally said like one sentence to me, but it resonated, so it worked. And I just left with my friends, and I literally I like separating from your friends is always so scary. So Sam's with this boy, and like I wanted to leave because like I had a man.
Keep in mind, I've met this boy.
He
like
wasn't a
5-6 times by
she
now.
Like knew him, so like it was fine. But like, and I had like a man on like the other side of town where we were trying to go. So I'm like, bye, bitch. And I was literally like telling this man, I was like, he was like, oh, I want to go. Like he was like, I'd go there. I was like, I am leaving. If you go, you must bring her in the car with you. Like you must like, and I was like, we are leaving. I won't be here. Go with her everywhere. And he was like, okay. I was like, you just think I'm playing and I'm not. Like I just want, because I was like, the last thing I want to happen is him being like, oh, like let's say you go to the bathroom. He's like, oh, they all went to Latchkey, and just like leave. And I'm just like, we are all leaving. Like no one else is going to be here.
Yeah.
So stay with her. So then I went out and went to like the east side, which was so fucking fun. And a lot of our other friends were there. So I walked into this bar and it was just fun because I was like, oh, I know you. And like just like vibing with these people. And then met like this guy out, just like chatted up with him. And then we were just talking for so long. And then the lights flickered on that it was time to go home and the bar was closing. And I was like, okay, time to leave.
Yeah. And like at that point, I had also been out on like the other side of the city on west. So there's west and east, and it's one road, and it divides like through a highway. So in order to get to the other side, you can't walk, you need to Uber. So I am on West 6th, and I'm just going bar to bar with this guy, like having so much fun. I was meeting a bunch of you followers, by the way, like listening to this. I met so many of you.
We've been meeting so many of you. When we go out and like our friends are like, literally what the hell is going on? Like you guys, we meet like 5 of you a night.
Yeah.
Which is like insanity.
Yeah.
And, like I love it so much. If you guys ever see us I don't care what I'm doing. Like,
also DM us too, asking where we're going. This is for the girlies only though. Like, if you're a boy, like, I'm not gonna tell a boy where I'm like going, but like, if you're a girly and you're a pod listener, like, hit us up if you're in town. Like, we'll let you know where we are. Like, I love it.
And if you say like, I don't care what I'm doing, like, I could be like making out with the dude in the bar, like tap me on the shoulder and be like, oh my god, I listen to your podcast. Like, I'd be like, oh my god, no way. Like, I literally don't give a fuck. You can tell me anything at any time.
Like, whatever you see, whatever you hear while we're out, I don't care.
Yeah, whatever you see, keep it to yourself and don't tell anyone. But please come up to me.
Yeah. So, anyways, I also like the lights went on, time to go. So I went back to this guy's place, and you know, we were doing as ones would do, and it hits like, I don't even know, like 3 a.m, and I'm like still awake, and I'm like hanging out with this guy, and Taylor calls me.
No, you called me.
Oh no, I had a call on my Apple Watch.
Oh, I tried to call you.
Yeah, and that's
why. Okay, well then, so I tried to call you, didn't answer, then you called me back.
Yeah,
that's what it was. You called me back
because I was like, why the fuck is this bitch calling me right now?
So this is what happens. I leave the bar. It's freezing. So just like put that into perspective too, okay? It's cold. I have heels on, okay? So I go to my house and we use our garage to get in. Little keypad. It's not fucking working. And I'm by myself outside of my house at like 2:30 in the morning. Luckily, we live in like a very safe neighborhood, so I didn't feel, it wasn't like sketchy or anything. But I was like, no, you're fucking lying. I was like, no, you're lying. No, I was like, oh my god. And like I didn't have a key, the front door was deadbolted, like I was going to go through the garage, and I was like, holy shit, I'm locked out. So I'm texting my friends who are at their apartment, Connor and Hunter, listen to their episode too. I'm just all these plugs.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I text them and they answered once and then not again, and I'm like, first of all, maybe they have girls over, which would be horrible because they'd be pissed if like,
but you had nowhere else to go. I had
nowhere else to fucking go. Like, what was I going to do? Sleep on the street? And then they're not answering. I was like, well, did they fall asleep already? Like, did they send one text and then pass out? Like, they weren't answering. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, well, I'm going. I called our other friend that lived in the building too, just to let him know. Because I was like, hell, I might sleep on his couch. Like, I called him and he was just like, let me know if they don't answer. I was like, yeah, no, I will. So like I knock on the door and I'm like, let me in. And they're like, is that Taylor? Because like, why would it? And then they were just like stoned playing chess. And literally at the coffee table, like playing chess. I was like, you guys weren't answering me. And they were like, oh yeah, we're playing chess. I'm like, yeah, I see that now. Like, and then I was just like, I'm locked out of my house. Like, I literally don't know how to get it. Like, I can't get in. And then Connor was just like, well, grab whatever clothes you want. You can sleep on the couch. I was like, thank you. Like, no, but okay. And I got comfy and I was so pissed, but like, what was I going to do? I had to sleep on the couch.
But hold on. I thought at this very moment, I was being the hero. I was coming to the rescue. I was
coming to the rescue.
I told the guy I was with, I was like, hey, like my roommate's actually locked out. Like, I need to leave.
Yes.
And I was like, can I take one of your sweatshirts? Like, I don't want to wear this. Like, I'm going to look like a fucking hoe, like with my like walk of shame out of here. Yeah. So I took his sweatshirt.
This is like important to note. Sam left her car at the apartment complex with the garage clicker in it.
Yeah, so
there was a way into the house through Sam's car and garage clicker, so we were going to take her car and go the fuck home.
Yeah. Well, not my car keys because we were going to leave my car at the Avenir.
No, I was going to drive. I was sober. I hadn't drank in hours. Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to drive it. I hadn't drank.
Not me.
No, I was good to go. I hadn't drank in like forever.
Okay, so I'm like thinking I'm on the rescue. I'm like, let's go. We're going home. I got my car keys. We're going to open up the car, grab everything. I get there. I look at Taylor in the lobby of that apartment complex and I just go, fuck no. Like, I left my jacket at his place with the car keys in it. Like, we can't get into the car.
I cried. I was like, no, be so serious. And she was like, no, I don't have them. So I was like, you know what? You're going to walk back. And Sam like is so drunk. Sam like couldn't even move. She's like taking like 1/2-inch steps at a time. And I come back and I open the door. I'm like, tell them what you did. Tell them what you did. Because I told the boys, I'm like, hey, I'm out of here. Like, I don't have to crash at your place. Like, good to go. Like, we're leaving. I was like, tell them what you did. Like, look, like admit your fuck up. So then it was like, all right, you're both sleeping on the couch. And then like they brought us blankets and they're being so nice to us, you know, letting us chill. And Sam was fucking fucked up. Let me tell you, she was unwell.
Yeah. So I wasn't even like, I don't really remember. Like, once I got to like where like the apartment, I don't remember much. But there's a lot of videos of me, like a lot of videos. And I'm like curled up on the ground in the corner, like, no, like I want to go home. Like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, you kept going, I'm going home. And I would go, Sam, we can't. and you kept being like, oh, right. Like, you'd always be like, I'm going home. I'm like, we can't. Like, I want to go home too. We can't.
And then I guess like Hunter picked me up and put me on the couch.
Yeah. She refused to get off the floor. So I literally was like, Hunter, can you please just like pick her up like and like throw her? And she's like, my boobs. Like when he literally like yeeted her onto the couch. I was like,
don't touch my boobies. But yeah, then next thing I know, I'm waking up at 8 a.m. on their couch, so confused. I was like, where the fuck am I? Like, what is going on? And I just instantly, I'm still hammered, guys. So, because think about it, I didn't go to bed until 4 a.m. and I was plastered. And I wake up at 8 and I just go AWire. I start running around the apartment, jumping on Hunter, waking him up, then knocking on Connor's door because Connor locked his door. I was like, why would you lock your door? You're such a scum. But anyway, I ended up unlocking it and then I jumped onto his bed. Oh, I was going crazy.
On one. And then it was okay because we finally got to leave and then we went to HEB in our clothes. I looked. It's all on video on my vlog. So check it out. But in HEB, looking like skanks, even though I didn't do anything. All I did was sleep on my friend's couch, got locked out of my house. But everyone's doing their wholesome little Saturday morning grocery run and we're getting battery for our garage door opener so we can get into our house, which we did. Clearly, obviously, we got back in. And after all that, Saturday at 1, I had a date.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like...
And meanwhile, I'm, like, sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. I was like, I have a date. Sam's like, oh, no, don't go. I'm like, no, I can go. I'm fine. Like, because I, like, didn't really... Like, I was tired because I ended up staying up so late because of the whole fucking fiasco. But I wasn't hungover. So I was like, no, I can go. And I went on a date, and it was actually a good time. We stayed at coffee for like 2 hours.
Yeah, they were there for a while. I was kind of concerned.
Yeah, which I feel like is like kind of a long time. But yeah, it was fun. And then we did it all again Saturday night.
We did it all again. And it's like not, like I didn't even think I would be able to do this, but I'm not even kidding. I was like hungover, but then I kind of revived myself. I had like 4 coffees and I was ready to go. And we did a girls'
like
night.
4 coffees?
No, literally, I had like 4 coffees.
But you said it as if like all I did was have like 1 coffee. No, all I did is have 4 coffees, and then I was ready.
Yeah. So, then what I would say like 6 p.m. rolls around, and Haley's like, "Girls, like, do you want to go get Mar's like casual drinks?" She literally said the word casual. I was like, bet, like casual? I'm so down for casual.
So down for casual.
So we ended up going to Gabriella's, which is like a place nice downtown, like great margs, great vibes, like such a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I've been talking to this like guy. So the guy from Friday night, I was like, you know what? Like I've been talking to him, but like I also don't want to be too aggressive with it and like be like annoying. Like, what are you doing all night? Like whatever. Like I'm gonna tell him what I'm doing, and if he shows up, he shows up. But like I'm not going
begging.
crazy.
You can't.
I'm not begging. So like if you want to hang out with me,
make the effort.
Make the effort. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going on Hinge. We're going to see like who's around on Hinge because why not?
Yeah, guys, this is where the night, like this is the juicy.
So if you didn't already know from TikTok, I got catfished on Hinge. So as the night is rolling out, I'm going to slowly share the story of me getting catfished on Hinge. But yeah, so we're sitting at Gabriella's. It's like 8:30 at this point, and I matched with this guy. Literally, I liked him on Hinge, and then 10 minutes later, he matched with me. And I had known this, so I saw the photos, and I was like, this guy looks so familiar. And a friend of mine was in one of the photos from social media, so I was like, oh, like, I know this guy. And so I matched with him, but I didn't want to say that I knew him, because I was like, he probably doesn't know who I am, because we're just both present on social media. And I told him, we were just kind of like throwing banter back and forth, and I told him where I was going to be going out, like not like specific bars at the time, but I was telling him like, oh, like I usually go to West, but I'm going to be on East this tonight. And he's like, oh, I'm going to be on West. And I was like, okay, whatever. Well, I'll let you know like as the night kind of unfolds where I'm going. And then we ended up going over to East after to get Margs. I had never been, but it was the place that Taylor went literally the night before.
Yeah, I went right back. Like I never left.
Yeah, 2 different bars. We started at one, super cool vibes. I got an espresso martini, which woke me up. And then we hopped over from that bar to the one that we ended up being at for the night. And we got there at what, like 10?
10:30 something.
Yeah, 10:30, and we were there for the night.
Yeah, we were there. We were posted up. We were having so much fun, man.
We were there with like a good amount of people that we like kind of like knew. Like we had friends that we saw at the other place that we ended up bouncing with to that one, and then like people that we had like.
Well, those bars right now are just like the place to be. So like you'll see people.
Yeah,
there.
you just see people there.
Yeah.
So we were with, like a good amount of people. So I didn't find any harm in me telling this guy where I was. So I was like, hey, like, especially because I thought I knew who he was on social media.
You thought you knew who he was, which is huge. And also, like, once you kind of verify, like, oh, I kind of seen that guy's Instagram, and like you thought it was his Instagram, like you didn't really have a reason to think it wasn't his Instagram. Like, that's a very normal thing to do. Yeah. Like, which, I mean, it should be a normal thing to do, and you shouldn't have to worry about people being creepy. Like, if, like, you should be able to just do that.
Yeah. So I told him where I was, and then the night just goes by so quickly, and midnight rolls around, and I'm like, hey, like, where are you at? He's like, oh, I'm on my way. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm still here. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. It's only midnight. Yeah. And yeah, should I like keep going with the story, or should I like
say everything that happened in between?
Yeah.
Keep going with your story, your catfish story, and then I'll just go into more like my night after.
Okay, cool. So, anyways, I had been just vibing out with like this one guy anyway, like throughout the night, because we were with like a bunch of guys, like. I met people at the bathroom.
As we do.
Well, it's just like a groups of guys. Like, I don't know. Like, so I met people at the bathroom, and the guys from the bathroom came and hung out with our group. And then, like, Taylor had told some people from Hinge that, like, she'd met before to come also. And then, like, our friend Haley had some friends. So there was just a big group of us. And one of them I was just, like, vibing with toward the end of the night. So I was, like, with him or whatever. But then Haley left, and then Taylor was already with another guy. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home. Like, by myself, I want to go home. Like, whatever. Ordered an Uber, got in the Uber. The guy that I was with was nice enough to walk me to my Uber, which thank God at this time, didn't realize it, but thank God he did. And I get in the Uber, I go home, and on my way home, I get a message from this guy on Hinge saying, hey, like, I just saw you leave, like, that bar. I saw you were with that guy. Like, hopefully he didn't close. Closing as in, like, you know, get it, like, come home with me. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like, why the fuck did he see me and not say hi? And then another message he sends after that when I didn't answer was, if he did not close, let me know and I'll order you an Uber back to my place and we can hang out. And I read that and I was like kind of freaked out, and I was like, I'm not answering this right now. I'm going to answer this in the morning. So in the morning I answered it and I was like, hey, sorry, just seeing this. Like, I just went home, like nothing crazy. Just wanted to get home. I was like tired, whatever. And he was like, oh, it stinks. Like, I'm going back to Chicago today. Like, I have a flight. What's your phone number? I gave him my phone number. And then an hour later, I realized he's never texted me. So I was like, this is weird. And I go back into Hinge, and he unmatched with me.
And that is when we looked at the guy who we thought it was Instagram and realized his Instagram stories from the night into the morning do not match up.
Yeah, they're not in Austin, Texas.
They don't match up. And like at night, his stories, we weren't sure where they were. They could have been anywhere. So they kind of could be here because it was just like in a house. Like, we don't know where that is. But then in the morning, it just didn't add up. And we were like, this guy wasn't here, according to his Instagram stories.
Yeah. So there was just like, and I messaged the guy on Instagram too. And I was like, because I wanted to see. I was like, maybe I didn't. I was like, so in my head.
Yeah, maybe he's like, no, girl, it was me.
Yeah. But I was like, hey, like, I think you're being, he's like, yeah, it happens to me all the time. And I like told him everything that happened. He was like, that's fucking crazy. Like, what the hell? Anyways, so end of the story is that I basically was being watched by this guy, fucking creepy at the bar. And he obviously never went up to me because I was with that other guy. Yeah. Like, if I was alone, he probably would have went up to me. And, like, I don't know what he would have done, but, yeah. So,
definitely
that was
just,
my
like,
night.
Scary. And obviously just, like, now I guess a lesson to, like, us of to be, like, so aware before you're, like.
Yeah.
But even though, like, I'm telling you, like, I mean, people are so quick to be like, why'd you tell him where you were? Like, guys, like, it made sense to them. Like, this was someone we thought we, like, really knew who it was. Like, it truly made sense in the moment. Like, it wasn't that weird.
Like, he's a part of, like, the whole raw gear, young LA, like, industry. Like, he's a part of that. Like, yeah, like, I thought I knew who he was.
Like, it made perfect sense. Like, someone that would be in Texas. Like, it made all the sense in the world.
Mm-hmm. But tell me about your night, Taylor.
Yeah, okay. So, I get to the bar, and I was, like, just wild in. So, the guy I went on a coffee date with, I told him where I'd be out, but he didn't really answer. And, like, I'm not waiting for no one. So, he hasn't really answered. But this other guy from Hinge was like, I'm going to give them names. Coffee date man is Noah.
And Blondie.
No, I was going to say Trevor.
Blondie's better. Because I feel like
real names.
Okay, fine.
Okay. I need real names.
Okay, Trevor.
So, I went to coffee date with Noah, and Trevor's just from Hinge. So, Noah's not answering. So, I'm like, okay. And Trevor's all like, you out? Like, where you at? And I was like, I'm at Latchkey, like, come. So he comes with his friends. He's cool. Like, we're kind of vibing. He's like buying me a drink. As he's buying me a drink, I lock eyes with Noah, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, I'm like, fuck. What do I do? Because now I'm like caught. Because like this guy was like cool, but like, you know, I already went on like a date with this other guy, and like I can't be juggling all these. I can't juggle dudes. Like I feel like I have to like run, like see the course with like one guy, like I don't know, I'm not gonna like bounce back and forth. Like I'm like, no. So I'm just gonna like hang out with him. So I kind of dip this,
especially if you're like already kicking off with someone. Why ruin it?
Why ruin it? So I was like, you know, I'm gonna go over here, and then all his friends are like, oh my god, is this coffee date girl? I was like, oh my god, like stop it, like talking about me. Okay, like wasn't it so fun? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's me. Like, like gas me up. So like we're just hanging out like the whole time, vibing. Like we were like in the corner of a bar, so like so many times I was like, can you come with me? I need to find my friends. And he was like, okay. Like, and I was like walking around, I couldn't find these bitches, but I knew Sam and Haley. I knew Sam and Haley were together, so I was like, okay, they're together, they're fine, but like I couldn't find them for the life of me. So I was just like hanging with this dude like the whole time, vibing it out, and then Sam comes over holding the hand of Trevor. Well, and I was like, what? Like, I was like, pardon? And then, like, the two guys, like, introduce themselves to each other because they think, like,
double date.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, my God. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, okay, whatever. And then Sam's like, I'm going home. I went home with this boy and had a great time, had a great night, you know, as one does. And then the next day I hear from Sam how she ended up like making out with Trevor in the bar. So when I texted him, I was like, I'm so glad I worked out with my roommate. And he was like, damn, well, you looked occupied. I was like, I was occupied. Like,
that man was on a mission.
He was on a mission. He really was. And like, that's the beauty of like, you know, Hinge. You just meet people, make friends.
Yeah, like I honestly,
they were cool. Like he was like, honestly, you guys are cool. Like I'm down to like hang. And like, I was like, yeah, like at the end of the day, like if you make like just friends, like someone to see and like vibe with when you're out, like they were cool.
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'm like down to hang. Like
yeah, like they're this weekend, like they want to.
Yeah, they'll probably meet us out next week, and it's fine. But it's just so funny. And then I was joking about it on Snapchat the whole day of like Sam stole my Hinge date. Like, but yeah, that's what happened. And it was just so funny. And then I had a good night. With the dude, and we're getting drinks on Friday. So.
A lot of you guys were like, "Oh my god, like don't let this man come in between your friendship." We're like dying laughing because you guys. I'm sorry, but like it's not that deep.
No, it wasn't that deep. But then for the next day for Super Bowl, we did absolutely fucking nothing because we were down bad.
So down bad.
And I want to reiterate, some of you guys, if you haven't kept up, this is like a side note. If you haven't kept up with like kind of what our podcast really is, and you're like, this is a fitness podcast, why'd you just tell us all this? It's because like, look at what we still do and like have so much fun doing, and like literally have all these crazy stories and memories like to tell and like laugh about and talk about with our friends, but like still like live the life that we do and make the progress that we do. So if you're like, why are you telling us how drunk you got on Friday? It's like, bitch, because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
and like I was thinking about this earlier today too, is like I used to a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, be so concerned about like my overall appearance where it overtook my life. Like I was so overdone with like, okay, like I need to be like toned, like my shoulders, I want them bigger, like just like everything. I was so nitpicky on my body. But then once I started to take like a step back from that reality, and I started to be more relaxed with the foods I was eating, not tracking my macros, going out on the weekends, that's when I built such a better relationship with my body. And like I don't care as much about my overall appearance. Like obviously, yes, like I'm going to continue to like maintain my body and my
we haven't just let ourselves
but, like,
go. We grind.
Yeah, like but we're still grinding, but I'm not like mentally so up my ass about it as I used to be. And it's like I'm more confident because of that.
I mean, I haven't really stressed about the way I look. I mean, obviously you guys follow. I'm like, hey, I want to gain weight. Like I said, I have goals, right? Like I'm just not like letting my fitness journey go to shit. Like I have goals, but like I'm not stressed about them. And like this is probably one of the best like physiques I've ever had. Like I take like flexing videos in the gym. Like today I was taking videos of myself and my arms like look like my biceps looks crazy. Like my six pack looked crazy. And I was like, bro, and like I literally like don't care. Like my abs look good, but like never once throughout the day I'm like, oh my god, I hope my abs look good. Like they just like I just look good. Like my physique looks good because like I'm not stressed and like I'm just like doing what I want and I don't like think about it. Yeah. Ever. I just like do what I know I'm supposed to do and it all works out in the end. So that's just like why we share these things, because it's like you guys should also have these like hilarious funny weekends.
Yeah, and like even like your Instagram, like both of our Instagram posts from the past weekend, our captions,
my caption,
like really hit home for a lot of you guys. Like I can't exactly remember what I wrote. What did you write?
Picture this: you're 80 years old, and like your grandkids are like, "Oh my god, like what'd you do in your 20s?" And all you have to say is, "I was like really into the gym and tracking my macros." Yeah, that's like all you're gonna say for real. Yeah, and like so many people commented like, holy shit, like damn. And it's like, yeah, like, and it doesn't have to be, because like we posted a TikTok that like this isn't healthy without this. Yeah. And it was like us in the gym, then us partying, and obviously the message, things go over people's heads and like they don't get it, because the point was balance. And for us, that's our balance of choice. Like going out and ordering a bunch of takeout, eating greasy, that's not like, we would rather go out and get marks. Like, and that yours might be like, no, I want to go out and like get food or like do this or like get dessert. Like whatever your balance is, like fill the weekend in those like times with those things. Like for us, we like to go out. But like if you don't like to go out, it should still be something not related to the gym that is just like good for your fucking like soul and like friendships.
Yeah, like so my caption too, because this is kind of like going off of what she's saying, is like, just your friendly reminder, your 20s are your selfish error. Like immerse yourself into every possible opportunity, traveling, exploring, loving a lot, relationships, friendships, getting out of the house and just trying something new. And like that right there is what I live by now, whereas 2 years ago would have been the whole opposite. Like Friday nights, like I would have been in tracking my dinner, like not going out to eat, and like, or if I did go out and get like a dessert, I was still tracking it, and I was fitting it into my quote unquote macros for the day, and it's like, why? So
yeah, and like mixed drinks would kind of scare me, like getting like the margs that like definitely have like sugar in them. Like who cares? Like I don't know. So it's just like, I hope you guys hear us talk about this and understand the point of why we talk about it. One, to make you guys laugh because it's funny. Yeah, and to laugh at ourselves. But also so you guys can hear that like, oh my god, like look, like, and it's all okay. Like, and those, because like the same, because I know like we get the comments like on videos where like I look good in the gym and it's like it makes people stressed to like be so on top of their grind. But it's like, no, I want you to see that video of me in the gym like literally killing it. Like I'll gas myself up, like yeah, like I'm fucking killing it. And then like literally on Friday like had the night of my life. Like, and you should see.
But we bust our ass Monday to Friday, so that way Saturday and Sunday
and Friday night.
Yeah. we can have ourselves a time.
Yeah. But that was basically our week. I've also had really good gym workouts this week too. I just want to put that out there. I've been really grinding, busting my ass. So really proud of myself for that one. And then I'm really excited for the dates I'm going on, because I like going on dates. I love boy attention.
Yeah. I'm really hoping this one guy that I've been talking to like messages me, because like earlier in the week we were supposed to like hang out at like one of our place, like either at his place or my place. And he hasn't messaged me.
I think after like next week.
Yeah, cut it off. Yeah. Because like things were going great. And it's like, okay, where are you? And like Saturday night too, I even messaged him. And I was like, he messaged me and he was like, where are you at? And I was like, I'm on East 6th. And he was like, oh, I'm on West. And he sent me like a photo of it. And like we were just not like bickering, but like bantering back and forth and like just talking shit. And I was like, okay, well, see you later.
Yeah, no, like if he wanted to, he would. Yeah. But shall we get into the good stuff?
Yeah, the good stuff.
Yeah, so like we might be blacking out, but we be smart. Yeah. And we can teach you about cutting and bulking and what the hell it is and how like weight gain and weight loss is so simple that it just like makes us so angry. Yeah. When we see these posts or these questions that just have such a simple answer, and it's so hard to get it through. So we are going to go really easy with this. Take your notepad out, get ready, because we're just going to tell you how it is.
Yeah, basically. So we're going to dive into the categories of we're just going to dive into cutting, and then we're going to talk about bulking. But then at the very end of this, we're also going to discuss the overall aspects of the both of them, because they are the same thing. They're just opposites of one another. So we'll start off with cutting. So cutting basically is just consuming more calories or burning off more calories than you are eating throughout the day. So if you are supposed to be your metabolic, what is it called?
Your total daily energy expenditures, how many calories you burn throughout the whole day.
So if it's supposed to be 2,500 and you consume 2,000 calories, that's a calorie deficit. That is how you're going to lose weight.
Yes, eating less than you burn. It is that easy. And then burning calories is not what you burn on your Apple Watch. You might be like, how am I supposed to eat less than what I burn? My watch just told me that today I'd burn 300 calories. I can't eat 200. That's because that's what you burned through exercise. You burn calories all day simply by existing, breathing, eating, your heart beating, walking to the bathroom, brushing your teeth. Every single thing you do during the day burns calories. So your calorie burn is not what it says on your Apple Watch. Your calorie burn is way more than that. You burn calories if you were in a coma. Your body's always burning calories.
Sleeping, everything.
Sleeping, talking right now, everything is burning calories.
Yeah, and you'll probably look at girls that are bodybuilders and bikini shows, and you're probably wondering how are they able to maintain such a leaner physique than somebody else who doesn't do that? It's because the more muscle mass you have on your body, the more calories your body will burn at rest. So over time, throughout years of lifting and getting more muscle on your body, weight loss is going to become so much easier for you. So you just need to keep that into consideration. If you are newer to your journey and you're oh my God, weight loss is so much harder than if I was watching my favorite fitness influencer who has loads of muscle on their body, it's going to be easier for them to lose the weight than it may be somebody else that has a longer journey ahead of themselves and they're just starting out. So keep that in mind. But when it comes to a calorie deficit, there's two different ways that you can lose or you can be in a deficit. You can do that by adding more cardio into your routine, or you can do that by just lowering your food intake. And you never ever want to go below 500 calories of a deficit. Anything lower than that, you are going to have something that's called metabolism adaptation. And I know these are big words, but what happens when you're in too much of a deficit or you're in a deficit for too long, your metabolism, your body will then adapt to said calories that you are consuming. So for instance, if your maintenance calories are 2,500, sorry, I'm rambling by the way, 2,500 and you are consuming maybe 1,800 calories, that's way too big of a deficit to be in. So then because you're in too much of a deficit, and you've been into that deficit for way too long, your maintenance calories is going to significantly drop because your body is now trying to get used to the amount of calories that your body is trying to consume. And it's basically just fighting against you. So you want to make sure that you are at a good number with the food you're consuming. And as far as being in a calorie deficit, I would not say anyone should be in a deficit for longer than 6 months.
So when you're how does your body shut down? Why is it too bad? You want to lose weight faster. You're just going to eat less. That is when those things start to happen, when girls lose their periods, when your nails weaken, when you're losing hair, when basically your body, when you're not getting enough food, will shut down everything that is not necessary. Your period as a woman, very important, but not necessary for life. So that's why your body will stop giving you your menstrual cycle, because getting your menstrual cycle burns a lot of calories inside your body. You burn more calories when you're on your period.
Yeah, that's why you're craving shit.
Your body is doing a whole extra function. And if you're not giving it enough food, it's going to take that away. It doesn't have the calories to give you long hair and to keep growing hair. That's why you see girls that struggle with eating. That's a symptom of not eating enough. Your nails are breaking. Why? Because your body is literally shutting down any other process that's not life that you need to live when you are literally starving. So that is why you cannot just slash calories in half to try to lose weight faster. It needs to go slow, because you're going to lose all your muscle mass, and literally like then it does literally start to get dangerous, and it can get dangerous faster than you think if you just severely cut your food.
Yeah. So you're probably wondering, all right, ladies, well, then how the hell do I get into a deficit? Because you don't want to do it wrong. So basically what you're going to want to do is that when we used to work with clients, this is what I would say for them to do is you want to start at your maintenance calories, even if you've been like reversing up to it or like you've been in a bulk or whatever. Go right back to your maintenance calories. Eat at your maintenance calories for like 2 to 3 weeks. Allow your body kind of get used to like the maintenance calories that you are consuming. And then every other week or every week, you can slowly decrease the amount of food you are consuming. Anywhere from like 50 to 100 calories per week when you choose to do so. And I always say go for the carbs, go for the fats, or if you're just calorie counting, then it doesn't matter. But try to keep your protein intake at the same at all times. And then carbs and fats are just what you're going to be decreasing.
Yeah, and then you're also going to be slowly increasing that amount of movement. So adding in that cardio that you want to be doing. You can do any cardio you want. People that are like, swear by 12-3-30. 12-3-30 is simply low intensity cardio. You can do literally anything you want. You can do any incline on the treadmill. You can do any speed on the treadmill. At the end of the day, you can get more really in tune with like what heart rate range you're supposed to be in, all of that. But like for the basic level, adding in cardio that you didn't do before is burning more calories. Like, yes, if you want to go all into like finding what heart rate zone you should be in to optimize the hell out of it, be my guest. But like for me right now, I'm not doing cardio. If I just started walking on the treadmill every single day after my workout next week, that'd be adding more movement and more calories. Yeah. Regardless. So adding more movement is adding more movement, regardless if you want to get all nitpicky about the heart rate stuff.
And if you don't want to worry about the heart rate stuff, worry about the steps then. So if you're currently walking around 8,000 steps a day, bump it up to 10K. If you're already doing 10K, bump it up to 12K. Just like small little increments of just like adding more movement. But please do not get carried away with this stuff. You don't want to like overdo the exercise. Focus really on like the lifting the weights first and foremost. Because like I said at the beginning, like the more muscle mass you have in your body,
the faster your metabolism.
Yes. So yeah, keep that in mind.
So basically, it all comes down to eating less, moving more, and not eating too little. We're saying eating less, not eating nothing. You're just eating slightly less and moving a bit more. It should not look like a competition prep. And if it looks like a competition prep, you're doing something wrong. And then there's ways to make this easier and more enjoyable, like eating more volume, which means think about if you had 100 calories of potato chips versus 100 calories of strawberries. 100 calories of strawberries is like a massive bowl full of strawberries, and 100 calories of chips is a handful. Both of those 100 calories has the same effect on your weight gain. If you're over 100 calories or under 100 calories, it doesn't matter what the food is. It's 100 calories. But the giant bowl full of food might be more enticing because it's just more volume. It's like, would you rather eat a handful of chips or 50 strawberries? Maybe you would rather the chips. Doesn't matter. You can eat whatever you want. But just knowing that if size to keep you full is something you want, look into the lower calorie options so you can eat more of them size-wise.
Yeah. I do get like quite a bit of messages too from you guys on Instagram just being like, is it normal for me to be like so hungry at the end of the day, or like I'm just starving all day? It's like, if you're feeling that way in your deficit, you're in too much of a deficit. You should not be struggling day to day to get through the day and like not feel like you're eating enough. Like there will be like, oh, like I'm a little bit hungry at the end of the night, or like, oh, like I'm a little bit hungry right now. Like, and you're going to like wait off for your next meal. But like you should not be fixated around all day 24/7 how hungry you are. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure that you are in a good place with your food in terms of like being able to get through the day, not starving throughout the day. So that's why like eating high volume foods too will really help you out.
Yeah, which kind of goes back to what I said.
Yeah.
If you feel like your life on a cut is mirroring someone on like a bikini competition prep, it is too much.
Too much.
It is too much. Like that girls on prep that do like an hour on the Stairmaster every day. You do not have to do that. You shouldn't do that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, unless you are a literal psychopath that finds that enjoyable, do not do it. Like, you have no reason to be doing that. You have no reason to be starving all the time. It's not, you just don't need, there's no reason to. There's literally no reason. Slow and steady. This is like weeks and weeks of a long thing. You just go slow.
Yeah. And that's why I want to give like a huge shout out to Kenzie Vance on this. Her content is very like prep, but she puts the biggest disclaimer out there when she talks about anything that she's doing, that she's on prep. It's not normal to be doing the things that she's doing. So just keep in mind with the content creators that you do follow that are on prep, like what they're doing, what they're advocating for you to maybe do. Just like keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Is that all we're talking about for cutting?
Yeah, and then after cutting, we'll kind of like...
We'll go back. We'll go back. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll move our way back into bulking.
Yeah, and this bulking thing is going to sound really repetitive because even though you might think that these are such opposite things, like, you know, they have to be so different, they're literally the same, and you're going to hear us kind of say the same exact thing we just said. So, you're just going to be eating more than you burn by eating more food or taking away movement. So when you're bulking... You don't really do cardio. You eat more. And
you just become a lazy sack of potatoes.
Yeah, you become a lazy slob and you can put any food you want in your mouth. So it's literally the exact opposite, okay? Like literally the exact opposite. Same thing, slow. Because fast weight loss and fast weight gain are not good for you health-wise. And even that, you know, we're all human. I don't think anyone enjoys rapid weight gain on themselves. That's okay. You're allowed to.
I bulked once and I probably will never do it again.
You're allowed to not like rapid weight gain. So in a month, you don't need to be putting on 15 pounds. No, like you do not need to be doing that. That's not what we're doing. It could be your bulking goals are again, whatever they want. It's less strict on a bulk of like cutting. You can't be in a deficit for too long, but you can bulk for long because it also depends on your starting point. You know, there's girls like me who like if the last 2 years I gained like 30 pounds. I was kind of in like a 2-year bulk. Like I did not cut once. I was slowly really just trying to fuel my body more and more and more. And I gained like 30 pounds over 2 years. So, I mean, there's less it's less strict than a cut in terms of like you can be a little more than maintenance for kind of as long as you want if it's what your body like needs and you're not getting like you're not putting on like too much body fat.
Yeah. No. So in regards to like the bulking, like the simplest way to basically put it is you don't really want to go much above than like 500 calories because at that point, if you are at maintenance, your maintenance is like 2,500 and you have 500 extra calories, you're going to feel pretty stuffed at the end of the day. Like
it's difficult. It sounds like you're like, oh my God, eat more. Guys, it's hard. It's hard. Especially like someone like me, my metabolism goes fast. I learned through my bulk because I never realized how much food I can eat. It's difficult to be shoving food in. And then that is why the thing I said about volume earlier, right? You might be so full that you don't want to eat too much volume. You want those little tiny snacks that are like one bite, but oh my God, it's 150 calories. That's what you want. Mm-hmm. Opposite of when you're cutting. That's not what you want when you're cutting. But that is what you want when you're bulking, because eating a giant bowl of food for 100 calories, you don't have the time or stomach space for that. You need that like little tiny snack that is like dense as fuck. Mm-hmm. That's what you need when you're bulking.
Yeah. And also, for like anyone that feels like they don't want to just like go straight into a bulk and like completely cut out like movement and stuff, like you can do like slight bulks. You can do like, you don't have to go full on with it. Like
that's kind of like you might just need a body recomp.
Yeah. So like you can also continue to like hit your 10K steps, but like eat more. Like it doesn't always have to be just like, I'm not moving my body, I'm only going to the gym. What?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. And like you're just consuming more food. So that's just something to also keep in mind, like, especially too, weight gain can be also on the harder side to like see on the scale. So if you're continuously moving your body and eating more, it may be easier a little bit like mentally to do it. And then you can slowly cut out the movement and then keep the food like increasing a little bit more, just like to ease yourself into it. Because that's what I did when I first started my bulk. Like I was going like kind of crazy in the sense of like, I just need to move my body. Like I want to move my body. I feel like wants to move. So I kept doing my steps for like a little while, and then we bulked for 4 months, and then I would say at like the 2-month mark, I stopped just completely moving my body.
Yeah, and then it's like you can do. Oh, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Is there anything else you want to say specifically about bulking?
I was gonna talk about like some of the calorie dense foods, because there were quite a bit of calorie dense foods that we did not realize were so calorie dense, like dried fruit.
Dried fruit is so calorie dense.
Yeah. And then like obviously the basics like peanut butter, granola, chocolate, avocado, like
tarts.
Yeah. And then like another one to keep in mind, which people do think about, but like in my sense, like I didn't really think about, is like the liquid calories. Like liquid calories will go such a long way. Like whether it's like, like, so we got honey, we have like the olive oil, you have butter. So if you're cooking something up on the pan, do a tablespoon or two of butter. Your coffees, your drinks, like protein shakes, like the to-go, like twist off protein shakes, like liquid calories will help you out a lot.
Yeah. And just finding foods you like that are calorie dense and like planning it out of how much you need to eat and when you need to eat, because you don't realize, but it's hard to eat a lot. So you need to kind of plan out every single time you're going to eat and what your kind of schedule of food is to get that food in there.
Yeah. And then if you think of it this way as well, like you're bulking, your main goal with bulking is to be putting on muscle mass. But because you are in a bulk, you are going to be putting on like a small percentage, like slowly, of body fat. But like I said, you're putting on muscle mass. So at the end of the day, when you're done bulking, it's going to be much easier to lose the fat because now you have more muscle mass on your body, and it's just going to make everything way easier for you. And one last thing to keep in mind too is at the end of your bulk, when you go back down to your maintenance calories may be a little bit higher now than what they were when you first started. So don't think you got to jump right back down to your maintenance calories, because it may be like 100 calories or maybe even a little bit less. I don't know, depending on the person. So don't think that like your maintenance calories are going to be the same. It will probably increase a little bit.
Yeah. So this stuff with cutting and bulking will work for every single person. And the reason people say it doesn't, like, this is like the example I see all the time. If you have like medical conditions that makes weight loss harder, that just means like it's fucking with your metabolism. Like whether it's your hormones fucking with it, whatever it is, right? I'm not a doctor. Something's fucking with your metabolism. It's still calories in, calories out. Like, yes, it's fucking with your metabolism, so it's going to be harder and it's going to cause issues, and that's going to be a whole other issue in itself. It's still calories in, calories out. Always. It's the law of thermodynamics. It's calories in, calories out. So that's literally what it is. All of this, like, I thought it was this, but now I just, like, healed my gut instead, or, like, did this. Like, it's calories in, calories out. So that's literally what it is. Everything we just said, cutting, bulking, weight loss, gaining weight, it is math. It is science. It is so simple. And once you just know it's simple, I promise you'll be okay. And then there's some things that are important to know with both of them. And I wanted to touch on working out. Your working out, as in like your weightlifting, is the same regardless of whether you're cutting or bulking. I got that question so much when I was doing certain things, like, oh, well, what's your split now that you're bulking? The same. What's your split now that you're cutting? The same. You're going to tweak your cardio. Your split will be the same. I mean, you can change if you want, but like you're going to weightlift the same way you weightlifted any other time. You are going to be stronger in your bulk because you got a whole lot of calories to work with. You got more weight on your body to push more weight. So,
that's like the best part of it.
Yeah, you get really strong. So, if there's a time you want to try like a powerlifting split, maybe try it in your bulk. Like you'll be strong, but you're going to keep lifting even in your cut. And the regular person on a cut, you should not be losing that much strength. Like maybe there was 1 or 2 PRs you hit in your bulk that you never really did again. But for the most part, like I said, this is not a competition prep. You shouldn't just lose all your strength. Like you shouldn't be like, oh, in my bulk, I did this and now I get like nowhere close. Like then you're probably under eating too much. Like you should still be able to push weight even though you're losing weight, because it shouldn't be that drastic.
Yeah. Want to jump into like talking about like at the end of the day, like macros are going to be different for everyone.
Yeah. So this was all about calories, but obviously you guys hear us talking about tracking macros a lot, and macros are very, very individual. So protein is going to be important for like everyone. Everything's important. scratch that. Everything is important. Carbs, proteins, and fats are all very, very important in their own way. Protein, you just like has less wiggle room of like amount. Like you want to keep the amount the same. Carbs and fat, you can manipulate however you want. Like the perfect example, we were talking about this earlier, and we always give this example, and we were talking about it when we were brainstorming, is I like a lot of fat in my diet. Sam doesn't. Personal preference. Like literally personal preference, and you're the only one that can like know that for yourself. And it's also, it could be how you feel. It could be the foods you just want to fucking eat. Like to me, like I feel no difference kind of. Like I've never really noticed a difference in my body with what my macros are. I enjoy high fat foods. I really like almond butter on my oatmeal. I like avocado. I would rather keep fat in my diet because I like it. Simple. And it's like Sam would rather more carb, more protein. Yeah. Cut out the fat.
One thing I noticed for me at least was like a few years ago when I started tracking, and my pre-workout meal always used to be like a bunch of eggs with avocado. Like it was a very fat focused meal. And I just felt so fatigued and like low energy at the gym when I was like eating that meal before going to the gym. And then I slowly switched over to like something different. I can't really remember what it was. And I realized I was like, maybe it's just like I'm eating too high of a fat meal like before I go to the gym. And then that's when I started to like play around with my macros, and I lowered my fat and higher my carbs. And I felt so much like more energy and less fatigue throughout the day, consuming less fat. So like it is just person to person. Like me and Taylor, when we first started like our whole like journey together, we weighed the same. We worked out like the same workout split.
Same time of the day.
Same time of the day. Like literally everything. Like our height and weight are like relatively the same. The only difference is she's obviously 2 years younger than me, but like,
and I'm a little bit taller, but barely.
Yeah, but like our macros are so different. So like that is just something to keep in mind. Like if you have your gym partner or your best friend and like you guys like do everything together the same, and you're like wondering like, oh, like, damn, you're eating that much food? Like, well, I'm eating this much food. Like, it doesn't matter. It's individualized. I can't fucking speak to you, okay?
Yeah, it's what you want to do with your body. And at the end of the day, all of this is what you want to do with your body. Like, nothing is that fucking serious. Like, it's not that fucking serious. As long as you're not cutting your food too low or anything, like, it's not that fucking serious. Like, you don't even need, half of you listening to this don't even really probably need to do a strict cut or a strict bulk. I'm talking strict, like I'm talking like be like up your ass with the food scale. Half of you don't really need to do that. And that's just the truth. You probably just need to like get more habits in order, pay more attention. Like you probably don't need to do this. And I bet that's half of you.
Yeah. And I bet you too, if you've never tracked before your food, start small. Don't jump into it. Start with tracking just your calories. And then if you want to jump into tracking your protein as well, I would track your calories and your protein. And I promise you, if tracking is something you've never done, if you do just that, you'll notice such a difference right away from tracking just calories and protein.
Yeah, and then there's ways to do this without tracking, which like could be another episode in the next few weeks. Yeah. Because we don't have enough time to go into that. Because as you guys know, right now we're not tracking. And I'm actually trying to purposely gain. I'm not doing a bulk because it's not very close together. I wouldn't call it a bulk. I'm just trying to slowly this whole year gain. But I'm not tracking. So we can definitely do another episode on kind of like how we know how much we're eating while intuitive eating and like mindful eating without tracking. So that can definitely be another episode if you guys want that, because you can make results without the scale. The food scale, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, and the body weight. You don't need to scale it in any sense. But there's ways to do it without that. And even though you listen to this whole thing, I'm telling you right now, really like think about it. Like what actually is what you need for your goals. Everyone thinks they just need to like cut to like lose weight. You might not. Like body weight is not always what needs to be gone.
And then another thing to keep in mind too is at the end of the day, calories are calories. I know Taylor mentions like the strawberries to the chips example, but like if you are really just tracking your calories, one thing we noticed, especially when we were in our bulk, when we were looking at like the nutrition labels on certain foods, is like there can be a slice of bread and a rice cake. Guess what? They have the same exact macros, same calories, but like people get so scared and afraid of bread. but then a rice cake they could indulge in and they just think it's healthier, but at the end of the day it's the same. So just make sure like you're obviously looking at nutrition labels and just being more aware. You're going to learn so much about food throughout the entire process of just tracking and reading labels and just knowing what your body needs. You're going to and probably end up in the spot that we're in where we're not even tracking anymore and we're just listening to our body.
Exactly. Understanding food and what is in what food is so huge, because obviously like not all diet food is healthy and not all healthy food is low calorie. Another good example, just because we're talking examples and this one just came to mind, like an acai bowl versus like a cheeseburger from McDonald's. I guarantee you your acai bowl is probably like 300 more calories than the McDonald's cheeseburger. Like, but it's like, oh, but that food's healthy. And that's what fucks people up in a cut, is because they get so confused with just trying to like be healthy, but also lose weight. It's calories. Like, it's calories. That acai, like if you're having a very high calorie acai bowl, it doesn't matter that it's fruit. It's high calorie. Same
with like a salad. People will be like, oh my God, I'm having a salad. Like I'm so healthy. Like, no, you could still have that burger. Like the calories add up in salads.
And then it's like, so you just have to know your goals, like, and what you want. And if your goal is weight loss, it's just calories. It's just calories. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just calories. And I hope that's like the gist of what people got. I think it's also, I like talking about calories because I don't like calories being such a taboo thing and like like a bad word.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just calories. Like, it doesn't matter. It's science. Like, get over it.
Yeah.
Some food is high calorie. Some food is low calorie. You can eat to lose weight. You can eat to gain weight.
Yeah.
Period. Like,
facts.
It's not that complicated. It's so easy. So easy.
This was a long one.
It was a long one.
My mouth is tired from talking.
Yeah, it was a very much long episode, but I highly enjoyed it. I love getting back to
I know this was a good
roots.
One. I know, but this one was a good episode.
It was. And if you also thought it was good, rate us 5 stars. Just, you know, don't rate us anything less. Only rate us 5 stars. If you don't want to rate us 5 stars, don't rate anything. But rate us 5 stars. It means the world. We love that. So
yeah. And we'll get back into like a lot of these topics because it's been like over 2 years since we've started this podcast. Well, 2 years in June. And a lot of these like fitness topic podcast episodes are kind of old. So we're like, we want to update them.
Yeah.
So we'll be cycling through some of the old topics and re-talking about them.
Yay.
But
Love it. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you in our next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.